Folks, would you believe that Spain's official police records mention a girl who has been terrorizing the nights there for several years? Over 30 complaints, but only one face. The girl who asks for rides on deserted roads and vanishes into thin air like smoke the very next moment. Today, I'm going to tell you the true story of Spain's famous businessman, Miquel Ortega, which blew the minds of Europe's top scientists and investigators. Don't think of this story as just a tale, because its ending is a dangerous warning for you. The date was December 23rd, 1994. Just 2 days remained until Christmas. Miquel Ortega, a big real estate businessman, was returning home in his Mercedes car from Barcelona. Miquel was one of those people who only focused on their work and profit. Ghosts and spirits were just illusions to him. It was nighttime, and Miquel was driving fast. He needed to get home quickly. Just then he saw that there was construction work ahead on the highway, and the road was closed. Miquel needed to get home quickly that day because his daughter's birthday was the next day. He thought, I'll arrive quickly by taking a shortcut. So he changed his route and took an old road that passed through high mountains and dense jungle. What Miquel didn't know was that locals called that road Carretera del Diablo, meaning the Devil's Road. The jungle was so silent that even the sound of his own car started scaring Miquel. Just then, at exactly 2 a.m., in the headlights' glow, he saw a girl. She was wearing an old gray dress and was asking for a ride. But the strangest thing was that the girl had no bag, no jacket, just a thin dress in such cold weather. Miquel stopped the car and asked, "Who are you, and what are you doing here so late at night? Where do you need to go?" The girl didn't answer. She silently sat in the back seat. When Miquel checked the AC of the car, it was already off. Still, the temperature inside suddenly started dropping. Miquel's breath was now visible as if he were in a freezer. Miquel looked in the mirror and asked again, "Tell me properly, where should I drop you?" The girl said nothing, just pointed her finger toward a dark turn ahead. Let me tell you, the turn she pointed to was the same turn where a big accident had happened 4 years ago. The car started moving forward. Suddenly, Miquel felt as if there was someone else in the car, too. A strange smell was coming from the back seat, burnt wood and old soil. Just then, Miquel saw something in his rearview mirror that made his breath stop. That girl's eyes were completely empty, as if there was no soul inside her. Then that girl's heavy voice echoed in Miquel's ears. "Slow down the car at this turn. Many people here haven't reached their destination." Miquel started laughing and said, "Don't worry, nothing will happen." The girl spoke again. "I can clearly see your death, Miquel. Hearing these words, Mikhail's throat went dry. He asked, trembling, "How do you know my name? And what do you know about this road?" The girl slowly turned her face toward Mikhail. Her skin now looked torn, and blood was dripping from her face. She said, "I know, because exactly 4 years ago, on December 23rd, 1990, I died here, at that turn where you have to go now." Now that turn was just 500 meters away. Mikhail tried to hit the brakes in fear, but his legs felt frozen. He couldn't control himself. And just then, the car radio turned on by itself. Only one sound came from it. A girl screams. It was the same girl sitting in the back. The girl placed her cold hands on Mikhail's neck and started choking him. Mikhail started suffocating. The Mercedes speed was now past 140. And here's the scariest part. Mikhail's last voice that was recorded on the dash cam. "Let me go! What have I done to you?" And that girl answered, "You haven't done anything, Mikhail, but people like you refused to let me live that night. 4 people, 4 cars, everyone saw me, and everyone ignored me and left." Mikhail looked in the mirror one last time. The girl was now in a terrifying form. Her face was burnt, and she looked exactly like someone who died in an accident. The car fell down the mountain as it turned. And then a huge explosion happened. The car started burning in flames. The next morning, police found Mikhail's Mercedes in a ravine. The car was completely destroyed and burnt. When police saw Mikhail's corpse, they were shocked. Mikhail's death wasn't from an accident. Rather, he was killed by strangulation. Blue marks on his neck were clearly visible. And police found an old locket inside the car. It had a photo of that girl, and with it were written the registration numbers of 4 cars. When investigators tracked those numbers, they found out that first car burnt in an accident at that turn in 1991. Second car found in the same ravine in 1992. Third car fell at the same spot in 1993. Fourth car in 1994, meaning Mikhail's Mercedes. Meaning that girl was hunting them down one by one because all of them hadn't helped her that night. Mikhail had become the 31st victim of that turn. And the scariest thing, on the back of that locket, a line was written, "Those who left me behind, I will never let them go." If you also want to know the complete truth about that girl and what happened to her that night in 1990, then subscribe to the channel and write "next part" in the comments. Because in the next story, I'll tell you who was in that 4th car and why that girl's revenge still hasn't ended. Remember, folks, if you see someone in trouble, definitely help them. Otherwise, that trouble will never leave you alone.